Hello, everyone. The yellow file session. You know that once a month I break it down and I give you for free, all part of my yellow files. And this idea was to make you all feel good with your English and to have a hint and an idea of what I share with the corporate Brazilian professionals. But beforehand, I want to know why you guys are on Instagram and you're waiting. What are you waiting for to hook me up to be on my YouTube channel? Just go to my YouTube channel and then subscribe. That way you will see the yellow file that I will share in less than 1 or 2 minutes. But beforehand, I'm very happy to be here. I'm very excited because every yellow file that I tailored, I have many, but don't forget, I started from scratch. 5 years ago, 5 years and a half ago, I did start with one yellow file. So the yellow files that you see today in the yellow file session, it's the evolution of all this timing that I have been getting grounded as an entrepreneur, as a businesswoman, and as your business mentor as well. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet me as well. My name is Pauline Janes, English teacher. I am your best mentor and communicator that will help you to boost your business English by using your skills. And the idea of doing these 2 sessions per month. Today is the first Tuesday of the month. So you will always find every Tuesday of the month, the first Tuesday of each month at 8 p.m. sharp, you will see my yellow file session taking place. That way you can have a beautiful, a wonderful, or a great idea of what people see during my class. That way you know the waters you are swimming in. But the most important part that I like to make a very strong point for people. Don't compare the teachers, don't compare if they are good or bad, because I have a hard time to believe that people are not good intentioned. I prefer to believe that everybody that tries to sell courses, everybody that is in the market and trying to sell business English, they are with very strong intentions. Okay. So let me have a sip of water. And the second live that I do per month, it's in Portuguese related to corporate businesses, corporate information. And by the way, if you are a part of my Yellow Word, you receive all the information up front and my Yellow Word and in my Yellow Word WhatsApp group. So beforehand, let's get started in the yellow file session. Don't forget, based on the World Economic Forum, 78 million jobs will be created until 2050. Until 2050, 78 million jobs will be created based on the World Economic Forum. So this era of the AI, that it's already happening, for God's sakes. I have a client that just came back from Madrid, you know, and she said that a robot served her on a tray with what she requested, like scrambled eggs with orange juice. I asked her, how was the feeling? And she said, it was weird. And I said, I don't know if I'm prepared to be served by a robot, but we cannot like blindfold our eyes and not knowing that the robots are there. The robots will be a part of our lives. But one thing for sure, the robots will never replace. They will never replace us as human beings, our verbal and nonverbal communication, and our feelings and emotions as humans. For sure, they will never replace. So the yellow file that I want to share with all of you is how to use I'm gonna I am confident that you can see me on the screen, and you can see the yellow file popping in. This is a yellow file, okay? How to use the body language. This is so important. We're going to talk about a little bit about nonverbal communication. And for the people that are on Instagram, just go on my YouTube. We're going to talk about a little bit about trust, confidence, and leadership and expressions. We're not going to have too much time because, I try to squeeze in and show you how a yellow file is. But the intention here is just for you to have a hint or an idea of what people get on my yellow file session. One of the things that is very important when we talk about body language, we need to know the split of oratory and rhetoric. Let me come back here. Okay, I'm here. I like to say this in Portuguese. Aproxima, approach here. Rhetoric is the art of persuasion. Rhetoric is the art of persuasion. On the other hand, the oratory itself is how do you apply this art of persuasion into your speech. So one is the art of persuasion, rhetoric, and you use the oratory by using the art through your speech. And when you have a speech, like you're saying, I'm using my hand gestures, I'm using my movement, I'm using my verbal and non-verbal communication. Your body talks. So one of the things that is crucial is for you to understand that you can have all the diplomas you want. You can get all the information you want, but if you don't have a good attitude and you don't learn to read the room, rather if you were dealing with dominators, passive aggressive critics or micromanagers, you're not going to get promoted. You're not going to send the message across. Keep that in mind. More important than having degrees. I have a bachelor's in business administration. I have international background and all the blah, blah, blah. But the non-verbal communication, it's a part of your hard skills, of your soft skills that you need to master the talent over and over again. Because sometimes just by the way you look, just by the way you read the room, people will perceive, people will approve, people will get the message, and people will be more friendly or less friendly with you. Keep all that in mind, okay? Non-verbal communication. But one thing is true, the way Paulina communicates, it's me, Paulina, all the way, upside down from head to toe. Don't try to copy me, but you can get inspired by some things that I say. I use my hands. I'm 51 years old. I use my hands very well, but this is all something that I master my talent through all the time. The other thing that it's involved in the corporate settings that it's so important is the second one is trust. Trust, 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 trust. Have you heard about it that when you trust a person, you always trust, even if you're blindfolded, even if the person committed something wrong with you or bad, if the person yelled, but you didn't break the rule of the trust, you always be there. Once the trust is broken, you can forget something wrong done at work, but you will be not trusting in 100% for sure. You can trust without trusting. Does it make sense? Like, I trust you, but I don't trust you because you broke the cycle of trust. And it can happen to anyone. You know, Trust is something that comes on the DNA. I love using the DNA word. Either you trust or you don't trust. Either you break the trust or you build to gain the trust again. You can regain trust, but it will never come back to being 100% again. Believe me, believe me. Trust is something that you build. People can navigate with you, people can do references about you, but if they don't learn to trust in you, you're completely lost. Trust is one of the highlights. One more before we finish that I want to talk about expression, and I'm gonna jump persuasion. Expression. It has a lot to do with the nonverbal communication. Remember that rhetoric is the art of persuasion. Now, the oratory is how you use this art through a speech for convincing to make people get your idea, to get by with your approval, you name it, to get a salary raise, to negotiate time, whatever you are. But your expression, I always say, if you need to fake it, you will fake it. If you have a last minute shift on a project, don't make a stupid face like, oh, the boss asked that. No, take a positive attitude, like the body talks, like you're seeing here. Nonverbal communication, trust, and expression. When you have emotional transparency, that's when you win your crowd. And I'm back here. Trust emotions because, yes, indeed, you can't hide it and say that you're fine all the time. We're not fine. We know that people are not fine. People are trying to get by. People are trying to understand what is happening with all these AI revolution. People are losing jobs. But then again, 78 million jobs will be created until 2050. So there will always be hope to find something else. The key ingredient is to keep building trust. Use your nonverbal communication. Sometimes you just need to use your hand or to nod or just to be quiet with your audience. But all these takes time, practice, and finally, you need to be honest to yourself first. Because if you are faking it all the time, you will come back home so exhausted. So you need to be honest. You need to be a mix of yourself. And I have learned this, like committing many mistakes. But one of the things is just like if you sign up on something, just honor what you said. If you are gonna trust someone, even that person that peer you don't feel comfortable, just trust, build trust, because a chain of trust brings loyalty. My company was built like that, with trust and loyalty. Trust, loyalty, and expressions. Don't forget all these three ingredients. They are so key. They are so relevant inside and outside the corporate settings. Oh, yeah. Because if you don't know to express yourself, you are not going to be nowhere. Because think about it. Come closer here. If all the CEOs are on the internet expressing themselves, why you shouldn't be? Think about it. I want to plant a seed in your back, in your brain. Take a time to think about it. Sometimes we want to do things that are old style, but trust will never die, neither your expression. But to master your rhetoric, that is the art of persuasion with the oratory pillars and the rhetoric, you will be in a much better place. So I'm gonna end this yellow file session with a big fat hug with for all of you, and I will be seeing you on the last Tuesday of the month with the yellow file session. No, with the topic you will choose that will be only in Portuguese. Hello, everyone, and bye now. See you the last Tuesday of the month. Take care. Thank you.